Just right now, while we are speaking, they have stopped the traffic to continue firing because it looks like, Brandy, that fire is getting even more intense. And we have our photographer, Patrick Perry, and Mia Monet are on the ground, and they were sending back pictures that showed you just how intense that fire was. You could see flames shooting out of the wreckage. So, and what happens in cases like this, when they're trying to put this fire out, they will stop the traffic, shut down the interstate for safety reasons.
And because this fire is so large, because it looked like fuel may have leaked underneath the roadway, there was a pretty big fire underneath the roadway as well, where our crew is trying to set up to give us some better images. And as you see right here, I-110 northbound now completely shut down as they fight this fire, causing lots and lots of backups. Let's check in with Lauren Hawkins, our traffic specialist. Lauren, actually, let's go live to TuneIn's Mia Monet. She's there live on the ground with a better shot at this. Mia, what are you seeing? Tell us where you are.
Brandy and JP. Now, right now, if you look behind me, you will see up here on this highway, this levitated interstate, the truck is burning. It looks like they might have just put all of the flames out. But a few moments ago, you could see those flames still burning very fast and very hot and very hard. And from what I'm hearing, it's so hot that it started to affect the construction site that is right underneath the fire. Now you can see some of the water, they're spraying and still spraying to make sure that they get all of this fire put out. But yes, this fire is burning. It's finally being put out. The smoke has come to be a lighter color. It's not as black as it was when we pulled up on the scene about 10 minutes ago. The smoke was very black, and they've been able to finally look like they're starting to sustain this fire and get it under control. But like I was saying, I'm hearing from people on the scene and the law enforcement and officials that the fire was burning so hot. There's a construction site right underneath it, and everything started to overcome the construction site. So there might be some damage underneath there. We have not confirmed that yet, but that's what I'm hearing on the scene at this moment. But we will be checking in and watching this as it all unfolds and as everything happens. That fire is still being put out right now. The water is very, very forcefully putting this fire out as quickly as I can. From what I am told, yes, of course, as you can see, this is an 18-wheeler, but from what I am told, the fire started very quickly. They said it might have been a mechanical issue. We are unsure of that, but we are asking a lot of questions on the scene right now to figure out exactly what happened and how this fire started. How long have the fire department been out here working to try to get this put out as quickly as possible? There are several law enforcement officials out here. BRPD, I see Baton Rouge Fire Department, I see DOTD helping to block off the roads. It is very hard trying to get around this right now. You are going to be stuck in a lot of traffic. I was stuck in quite a few traffic just on the ground level as I was trying to make my way onto this scene. But this is what we have at the moment. We are working really hard to try to get more information as to what happened, but it looks like they are finally able to control and take this fire and maybe finally put it out. But for now, I'm going to toss things back to you guys. Reporting in Baton Rouge, I'm Mia Monet, WBRZ News 2.
Amy, stay with us right there. To see a ladder truck like that, if they have to use a ladder truck to put a fire out like that, that just shows you how intense that was. And as Mia was talking, we were seeing some images of the truck, and I think you could see some of the cargo inside the truck had been burned out. It looks like it's a total loss, and it's actually the truck looks like it's buckled or folded over, like it's melted.
And it really looks from one of those images like it may be leaning on the guardrail. So there could be some more safety concerns for the roadway after this. Of course, DOTD is going to be on the scene to inspect to make sure that it's safe. As we were watching Mia live, we watched another fire truck pull up to the scene. Tons of flashing lights. We see at least 3, 4, 5 firefighter engines there. And of course, this is going to cause a huge, huge headache for drivers throughout the day today. JP, I can't imagine that they're going to get this cleaned up quickly.
Yeah, it's only just past 10 o'clock, and it's usually a very busily traveled part of the roadway. Let's go back to Mia, who's actually on the scene with someone who is fighting this fire. Mia, take it away. Who you have for us?
Okay, everyone, I was able to get the public information officer with the fire department, Mr. Kurt. Good morning. Now tell us, what happened today? How did this fire start?
So we don't know what caused the fire. It's an Amazon truck. The packages inside the 18-wheeler are on fire. Obviously, it's a lot of fire load inside, therefore we got the ladder truck out. Difficult to get water supply up on top of the interstate, but you can see we tied into the plugs here below it. There is a construction site below that was some of the fire dripped down and caused an exposure fire. That's under control. Right now, we're just asking people to avoid the area. We know it's going to be a traffic nightmare having that interstate shut down. It's for the safety of everybody. We've also gotten a few calls from folks worried about the smoke. Hazmat is on scene. We have not identified anything that's hazardous, so everybody should be calm, stay safe. And right now, we're just trying to get the hot spots out on this so we can get this cleared up as quick as possible.
Okay, now I heard that this is a construction site right underneath it. Were y'all able to keep anything from damaging, or have y'all assessed that yet exactly?
So we did have some flames that dripped down and caught some things underneath on fire. They're keeping water and foam on that to prevent that from flaring back up at this time. Like I said, we have it pretty much under control. It's a very large truck. It was full of packages. There's a lot of fire load inside that truck. So we're trying to just make sure that we get the flames out. And of course, we'll try to figure out what caused it after that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it. Thank you so much. There you have it, folks. You heard it. This was a Amazon package truck that caught fire. So if you have an Amazon package, you might want to check into that and see where exactly it is. Hopefully it wasn't on this truck, but there are a lot of packages that were on this truck. They were able to sustain it. They have it under control now. We will be checking back in. For now, I'm going to toss things back to you guys in the studio. Reporting out in Baton Rouge, I'm Mia Monet, WBRZ News 2.
Thanks so much, Mia. That obviously was Kurt Monty with the Baton Rouge Fire Department. Now, this is, as we were watching it live, as we were showing those last few images from the traffic cameras, they looked like they opened up Convention Street to start letting cars at least get off on Convention Street once again. But we know that this is going to cause lots of headaches and delays for drivers, so pack your patience if you're heading on I-110 northbound. Let's go to Lauren Hawkins, our traffic specialist. Lauren, what are the delays looking like from this?
Oh, Brandy, JP, they are absolutely crazy, and this happened less than an hour ago. So as you can see here, traffic almost backed up to the split this morning if you're heading westbound on I-10. And even if you're heading eastbound this morning, trying to cross that bridge, you are completely stuck at this time. I'm going to show you what those backups look like. But first things first, let's see. There's barely any movement at the scene right now. Lots of smoke. And look how slowly these vehicles are getting off of that ramp. So we're really not going to see any movement as far as traffic goes for a while. So you definitely want to prepare for that and go an alternate route at this time. Like I said, backing up to the split, here's a look on I-10 at College. So you could see all of this traffic just having to sit there, get off at the nearest exit that you can and go an alternate route because there's really not any movement that's going to happen. Again, this is what it's looking like on the map. Past Lobdell or reaching Lobdell as you're heading eastbound this morning and almost to the split because of this 18-wheeler that caught on fire. And of course, even when the 18-wheeler is cleared out and that roadway is cleared from the fire, we're still going to have to inspect the bridge. We're still going to have to see if it's safe for travelers to go past this area. So it's going to take a while. Definitely prepare for that. Go an alternate route and prepare. If you're already on the interstate, you're going to see some crazy backups if you're heading on I-10 westbound towards this area or coming into the city from the west side on I-10 eastbound because of this 18-wheeler that is caught on fire. Now, like Brandy and JP were saying, that exit or that off-ramp at Convention is now back open, but vehicles very slowly passing through. So like I said, no movement really happening whatsoever on the interstates right now because of this. Of course, I'll keep an eye on things. We're covering this all morning long, and we will keep you up to date and on everything that is happening. Back to news.
All right, Lauren, thanks for that. Great job. So this story unfolding as we speak. What we've learned is it's an Amazon truck full of packages that's completely destroyed. We don't know what started the fire, but it is under control. And as Kurt Monty was telling us, some of those flames were able to go under the bridge and start some fires there. So there's a lot of questions about the integrity of that bridge.
And now we're going to go back to Mia Monet, who's live on the scene. I know one of our next big questions is, will they be able to open this area of the interstate back up with such a large fire? Mia, what are we learning from the scene?
Brandy and JP, now I still have Kurt Monty with me with the Baton Rouge Fire Department, talking to him about what is next. Now, you said there was some damage, there were flames that got underneath. What is going to happen to the bridge right at once y'all get this all cleaned up?
So the fire looks to be under control. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of hot spots. We'll have to drag that stuff out to make sure that the flames are completely out. Then that point in time, once we mitigate that issue, DOTD will come in, obviously, and do an inspection to see how much heat damage was done to it. Hopefully, that'll take place today. Right now, we're just concentrating on getting all this debris put out and having this truck removed when we can.
Okay, so DOTD would be the next person to figure out what's going to happen with this bridge.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get this scene under control. That way, they'll be allowed to go in and inspect the interstate.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. There you hear it, folks. Now look at this scene now. It is so different from when I pulled up here about 15 to 20 minutes ago. The smoke has definitely cleared out of the air. The water is still being poured onto this truck, this massive Amazon truck that was full of packages, caught fire right on the interstate. Now they've been able to contain it. They've been able to put it out. Now, like we were saying earlier, there was some damage that was happening underneath the bridge. So we spoke to Kurt Monty with the fire department to find out exactly what's going to happen from this point. If the bridge is safe, will it be okay to drive on? DOTD will be the next people that WBRZ is working to get answers from to figure out what's going to happen. How is that inspection going to take place? How long will it take? How long will it take before we can safely drive on this bridge again, if at all, until they can fully repair it? Now, this is all the information that we have on at the moment, but we are working very hard behind the scenes to get even more questions answered for all of you. But for now, reporting out here in Baton Rouge, I'm Mia Monet, WBRZ News 2.
All right, Mia, thanks for that update. And this is video from earlier this morning. You see just how intense that fire was. Look at the flames coming out. And again, this is an Amazon truck filled with all kinds of packages. And as Kurt Monty from the fire department says, that's what's fueling these intense flames.
And now it's been left a big pile of mangled metal. You can hardly tell that it was an Amazon truck full of packages. There's so much damage and even fire underneath the interstate. If we can pull up those traffic cameras just to take another live look at it, cars being diverted onto Convention Street. This is, of course, breaking news this morning, and we're going to continue to follow it, and we'll have much more in our next broadcast on the new news. And as you see it, this is a live image right here. You see them. They are still trying to put out those hot spots to make sure that this fire doesn't re-engulf in flames, and we're watching cars having to be diverted onto the Convention Street off-ramp.
Yeah, and as Lauren was just telling you, the off-ramp, part of it is now open, so there's a trickle of cars and trucks slowly making their way around the wreckage site to get back on the interstate, but this is going to be a huge problem for hours to come this afternoon because it's going to take them quite a while to get this all cleaned up, and this is showing you the backup of what kind of backup is that it's causing. This is the shot from College Drive, so it's almost going to be like gridlock throughout the city of Baton Rouge for the next few hours as we continue to monitor the cleanup because it doesn't look like that wreckage is going anywhere anytime soon.
That's right. So pack your patience, folks. You see folks heading here on I-110 northbound. They are moving at a slow crawl. You want to make sure you are packing your patience or just find an alternate route. We're seeing more fire trucks pull up, and as Kurt Monty with Baton Rouge Fire Department told us, they're going to have to continue to work to make sure that all of those hot spots are put out so this doesn't reignite. That fire underneath the roadway has been covered with foam and put out, but we are watching it all live right here with you folks, and of course WBRZ working to answer questions. Will this roadway be safe for the afternoon rush?
Brandy, just look at this shot. We don't see this very often in Baton Rouge where you have a city fire department ladder truck that is used to put out a fire on the interstate like this. This is very unusual, but it just shows you how intense, how serious this fire was for them to move a truck like that, because I don't think they knew at first what they were dealing with when they saw flames not only on the interstate, but under the support structure of the interstate, which can be very dangerous. Now, as we've been saying, they're going to have to wait on DOTD to come inspect to make sure of the integrity of this roadway so cars and trucks can pass there. So this could be closed for quite some time. But again, I can't tell you the last time I remember a ladder truck like that used to put out a fire like this on the interstate.
And what we're seeing here in these live images from the traffic camera, what is left of the Amazon truck looks like it's leaning pretty heavily on the guardrail. So again, integrity of the structure. That's going to be our next question. Is this roadway going to be safe this afternoon after such a large fire? We've been showing you those images. We have the very latest information on WBRZ.com. Make sure you stay with us throughout the day. We're going to continue to ask questions over the course of the next hour and 45 minutes so that when we come back on the noon news, we'll have some more information about what happened here and what will happen for the roadway for the rest of our commuters for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we're going to keep monitoring this. Lauren's going to keep monitoring this. We're going to do push alerts, on our app as well as on WBRZ.com. So we will have the very latest for you. But we will have all of this coming up on News 2 at noon. We'll have more, probably more of a progress report to let us know when and if they can open this. But along with Brandy B. Harris, I'm John Pasternak. You've been watching breaking news from WBRZ Channel 2. We now join our regularly scheduled programming